Hello, my dramatics. Welcome to the channel, the place where secrets come to light and nights are filled with intense stories. I discovered my husband had a double life. Elena had always believed her marriage to Andrew was solid. They had been together for 10 years, building what seemed to be a stable life with routines that appear unbreakable. They had breakfast together, discussed their plans for the week, and at night they watched shows on the couch. Everything seemed normal until one detail lit the first alarms. One night, the sound of Andrew's phone broke the silence of the bedroom. He answered quickly, almost as if he had been waiting for that call. He got out of bed, walked into the living room, and lowered his voice. Elena pretended to be asleep, but her heart began to pound. From that day on, she started noticing small changes. Sudden work trips, vague excuses, a nervous smile whenever certain messages appeared. Elena tried to convince herself it was just her imagination, that exhaustion was playing tricks on her. But every evasive gesture from Andrew pierced her like a thorn she could no longer ignore. The confirmation came by accident. One afternoon, while putting away clothes in the closet, she found a crumpled receipt in the pocket of Andrew's jacket. It was for the rent of an apartment in a nearby city. The document carried his signature. Elena froze, reading the address again and again, as if her eyes refused to accept the truth. That night, she could barely sleep. She tossed and turned in bed while Andrew slept soundly beside her, as if nothing had happened. For several days, she tried to gather the courage until she finally decided she would go to that address and see for herself. The journey felt endless. In the car, her thoughts tangled. Is it a lover? A passing affair? A mistake? But what she found surpassed any suspicion. When she arrived, she parked in front of a model building and waited in silence. Minutes later, she saw Andrew get out of the car. He was holding flowers in his hand. With a wide smile Elena hadn't seen in years. Then a young woman appeared at the door to greet him, and behind her, two small children ran out to embrace him. Elena felt the ground vanish beneath her feet. She watched them for minutes that felt like hours. Andrew kissed the woman on the cheek, bent down to hug the children, and laughed with them as if he were the perfect father. Every gesture was a brutal blow to Elena, who felt her entire life collapse before her eyes. Tears blurred her vision. She wondered how many birthdays, how many weekends, how many lies she had believed while he was here with this other family. How many times had he invented business meetings just to live this parallel life? She didn't have the strength to confront him then. She stayed in the car, trembling, gripping the steering wheel until she finally started the engine and drove away. On the way back, she cried so much she had to stop the car several times. The betrayal was no longer a suspicion. It was a cruel reality, an undeniable truth. That night, Elena waited for Andrew in the living room, the receipt clutched in her hand. The clock ticked each second with unbearable slowness. When the door opened, Andrew entered as usual, greeting her with a tired smile. She looked at him intently and with a trembling voice asked, "Who are they?" Andrew froze. The smile instantly disappeared from his face. His breathing quickened. He tried to form words, but only empty excuses came out. He spoke of mistakes, of complicated situations, of wanting to protect her from the truth. Elena listened, shattered, tears streaming down her face. Each word sounded like a cruel mockery. The argument escalated quickly. Shouts, reproaches, accusations. Between stammers, Andrew admitted he had been supporting this other family for years, that he didn't know how to stop, that he was terrified of losing everything. For Elena, what had already been lost was beyond recovery. Trust, security, the love she thought she had. The truth spread like wildfire. Family, friends, Even neighbors soon learn of Andrew's double life. The image of the exemplary man collapsed, and with it, the life they had built together. Elena felt her world fall apart, but within that pain, she found an unexpected clarity. She couldn't go on with someone who had lived in lies for so many years. She decided to leave, even if it meant starting from scratch. The pain was unbearable, but she also knew it was only path for her freedom. Andrew, on the other hand, was trapped between two worlds. The woman with whom he had formed the second family now looked at him with contempt, unable to forgive his deceit. And Elena, heartbroken, walked away too. What he had tried to sustain with lies ended up destroying both families. The final silence was devastating. Elena, broken but resolute, understood that sometimes the truth arrives like a storm, tearing everything down, but it also clears the way for a new dawn. Thank you very much for listening, my dramatics. If you want more stories like this, subscribe and ring the bell. In this channel where drama never sleeps, please leave a comment, and if you have had a similar story or you know anybody, just leave some comments so we all can read it. Bye.